Welcome to Mark D. Maker. My name is Mark Taylor, and we are burning in feathers today. So we laid these out last time. I'm using a skew tip. My heat is set at 4, which is fairly low. I'm just trying to avoid a lot of char. The char will have to be cleaned up or cleaned out before we put the gesso on. As you can see, I'm going in at twice the speed of real life, so yeah, I wish I could burn that fast. As I'm doing these lines, I'm doing this just like I'm drawing when I'm doing the straight line part. I'm looking just ahead of where I'm burning. It's kind of like drawing. As you're drawing with a pencil, drawing a picture, you're looking just ahead of where the lead is making the line. And do the same thing when you're burning. You're looking just ahead, and it helps you, especially with straight lines, keep straight lines. I'm holding the pen in a way that I can twist it with my fingers, and you'll see, especially on these small, like this right here, see I'm twisting. That twist helps you create a nice graduated smooth line. Sometimes I'll even twist whatever I'm burning. If it's a bird, or if I'm doing like a bear or something, I will twist the whole wood carving and twist, especially if I'm doing a tight line, a tight curve. Alright, so we're getting ready to go in here and remove some of the char lines. I'm using a number 11 X-Acto style blade to help get in there and remove that. I've found that the number 11 blade works better than a carving knife simply because of the point of it. I don't have a detailer that is that pointed. The key is the support that I'm giving that blade with my hands, my thumbs. That lever cut really adds a lot of support, and you can do very, very fine detail. So I've done the relief carving, removing the wood and the deep char lines, and here I'm going back with the burner on the primary feathers and undercutting them slightly. You don't want to go wild with this because these feathers literally lay on top of one another, and feathers are thin. But this helps give the illusion that there's feathers underneath other feathers. So you don't want to go too hot with your burner on this, but it does help create the illusion that those feathers are all laying there one on top of the other, and it helps in the burning process with this skew burner to get underneath and when you're burning in the lines for the feathers.
Okay, so what I've done here is just slightly relieved. You can see these tiny little pieces of wood I've removed using the burn lines as stop cuts. And the next step is to go in and to sand these smooth. You want these feathers to be smooth. So of course one way to do it is to fold a piece of sandpaper. This is 220 again. And to go in very carefully and create a little stair step here. You're sanding along the burn line, and they're literally like little steps going up. Once these become a little bit more established, then we're going to sand them so to move your finger across them, they're smooth. But getting that little stepped edge is important. Now the sandpaper will wear out. I was going at it like this, and you can see where the sandpaper eventually like cracks and chips up here. See it there. And so you're constantly moving to a new bend for fresh sandpaper. Once it's off like this here, it's time to move on and to fold it again. Now they make tools, and you can make tools to do the same thing with more ease. These are little sanders. Amazon sells these, Woodcraft sells these, and I'll show you what they are. So they come with a pack of sandpaper, these strips, and I bought an extra pack. But they are spring-loaded, so you can see that they're spring-loaded, and you just keep moving these forward like so, and it gives you a fresh edge to sand with. And that way you have maximum control. Now I believe this whole pack, there's comes with four different sticks, different grits, and a couple of strips of sandpaper here. And it was about $22. In the meantime, what you can do is you can make your own. This is a dowel with some sandpaper on it. Fingernail files were great. I did use fingernail files and actually trimmed them to different shapes. Cut an angle on it and go in sharp corners and such. I used that for years. And I made my own. Glued a little sandpaper to, this is a stir stick. I got a free stir stick from one of the big box stores. And it works just as good. I'll spare you the pain of sanding all of these, but there's all kinds of options. These are the little nail files that I bought on eBay. and they were super cheap. I got a bunch of these for, I don't know, like 99 cents. So make your own or buy some store-bought, but there is a lot of sanding involved in coming in on these feathers and relieving them. Tail feathers, under the tail feathers. These are helpful.
And here it is. Here's the t-shirt that I'm offering through Teespring. I also have Buy Me a Coffee, and it's all in the links below. The little arrow pointing down on the right side. I'll have links to the t-shirt and to Buy Me the Coffee. More t-shirts to come. A great resource of information is carving magazines. I subscribe to Wildfowl Carving Magazine. This is great if you're into carving birds. You really should subscribe to this if you're into any kind of birds at all. Birds, hawks, owls, hummingbirds, ducks, all your birds. Great magazine. And if you're into characters and even birds too, there will be some birds in these books, but all kinds of shop information, from air cleaners, reviews on respirators. This is Wood Carving Illustrated. And as you can see, I get every single one of them, and same with this. This makes for a wonderful reference library. Can't urge you enough. A lot of information in these. Look through them, study them. Free patterns. I can't praise them enough. Let's see if we can find it. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. That's what we'll be using for our eyes, to mount the eyes into. Magic Sculpt. Magic Sculpt is a two-part resin and a hardener. You mix it 50-50. It's the best stuff I've found for mounting eyes. Now, I used to use this stuff, but as you can see, this sets up in right there it is, 15 minutes. That is not enough time. That really makes you rush, hurry. And it's a little stiff. I like the JB Weld products. They make a wonderful epoxy, but this you have ultimate control because you can put less hardener in and have a longer time to use. I usually will mix it to where it doesn't start to harden for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Also, it's water soluble, so you can mix a little bit of water in and make it much more pliable. It's just all around a really good product. So I've seen this product available on some carving stores carry it. The Complete Sculptor out of New York carries it. Really, really good stuff. I would urge everybody to give it a try. Wonderful stuff. Oh, and while I'm talking products, This is the type of eraser that I use. It is a really kind of like an architect's eraser. Back when they used to draw, they would use these type of erasers. Does not smudge. That's the particular brand I use. All right, so we have 2 small balls of, here's the resin, here's the hardener. The directions do say wear a glove while mixing. So we're gonna mix this up until I get an even color. Get the eyes ready and get ready to install them. All right, we're gonna speed things up a little bit here and go at 2 times the speed. I'm putting the putty into the eye socket here, and you can see I put a little water on the wood first. It just seems to help and help it adhere better. And when I'm done with it, fill in the eye socket there, you can see me wet it again, and it helps it really just smooth right out. It's a little sticky to the touch, but when you put water on it, it's smooth as silk. Very easy to conform. Here I'm putting in the eyes. Now the holes are already there, so as you push in on that glass eye, you can see the putty oozing out, and it will continue to do that. And what I'm looking at here is making sure that the eyes are even, and right now it's a little bug-eyed. You know, the eyes are sticking out too far. And so you got to get those eyes in far enough, otherwise it's not going to look right. The bird's going to look like a cartoon. A good way to judge it is like this. View it from the top. You look at it from the top, and you should just see the eyes barely appearing off the side of each side of the head. Now I will come back and roll a thin piece of clay out to do the eyelids. Here, this eye, I couldn't get to sink in well enough, so I had to carve out just a little bit more wood. Make the hole a little bit bigger. Go through that process again. And this time it seats in really well. That whole process right there took a lot more than 15 minutes. And if I was using that other stuff, I would be digging out the dried hard epoxy and trying to fill it again. This stuff is just wonderful to work with. It stays smooth and pliable, easy to work with, water soluble, so you're not having to deal with mineral spirits or any kind of solvents. So you can see the eyelid that I'm doing here, rolled it out very, very thin, place it around the eye, and then I'll continually to dip my tip of my knife blade in the water when I'm smoothing it out. Here I'm just like crimping it to the wood, and it's doing a great job of adhering right to the wood as soon as I this little crimp. And then going for the proper thickness of the eyelid, by wetting my blade and just pulling it flat. So there are different types of eyes that you can buy, and you can buy them from numerous places. Usually wood carving supplies have them. They'll usually sell wood blanks, so if you don't have a bandsaw, you can still carve these birds or really anything. They have all kinds of blanks of all kinds of animals usually, but definitely carry birds. Birds are very popular. And they'll carry feet made out of pewter and eyes. And the eyes and feet usually have, this specified. So this is a tufted titmouse. I would look and find tufted titmouse, eyes, feet. And on the charts that they usually provide, it'll show you, oh, these eyes are a 5mm, and the feet are very specific to that bird. Well, we're coming along quite well now. We're moving right along. The bird's getting pretty close to being carved. I hope this video is helpful. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.